Welcome to A Comic Illuminati. My name's Matt Johnson. This is issue 10, part 2 of a 3-part special where we look at DC's new 52 number 1 issues. Last issue, we looked at kind of the lead up, the history. What got us to this point that a company would want to completely restart their books. This issue, we are going to actually look at what has happened and some of the lasting effects. Next issue, we're going to look at some conspiracy theories that I have surrounding this, but that's next issue. And what has happened since the new 52 were launched at DC? Well, I'll tell you one thing. One retailer has been driven to drink a lot more than he used to. Thank God for Glenn Levitt.
I'll take that, Master.
Oh, excellent. Thank you, Igor. Everything was stopped and restarted. Everything. And to reflect this, there was a new emphasis, direction, writing style, continuity? Well, we just don't know, dude. There were some trends, some styles. Some books were seen as being a lot darker, and some, it was stopped at issue 17, and this could have been issue 18. I just don't know what DC is trying to prove. So some of the books are a lot darker, and by darker, I mean like pitch black. Some are so much more violent that you have to wonder, what, did your marketing people tell you that that's what people want to see? DC's never been this dark or this violent. It actually looks a lot like Marvel from a few years ago. Sex? Hey! Yep, that's all over the place. If you want to see Batman and Catwoman dry humping, hey, we got a book for you. You want to see one character proposition sex from another character? We've got that too. No, I'm not kidding. Then there's some of the other books. Hey, I was serious when I said that a book literally, this is issue 18. The Legion of Superheroes and Green Lantern are so much the same that you know the script for issue 1 was just the next script in line. There are no changes and no references to Flashpoint or the great change, the great continuity change. So, what's good has come from this? Ah, yes, sales. Sales have been great. Sales are not like anything I've seen in 10 years. I'm not kidding. You can talk to any retailer, and they're probably out of most of them. Sold out, completely. We're selling better on this than anything in the history of our shop. It's my understanding that whole cities are out of books. DC, thank you. From a bad summer into a fall of great uncertainty, September is usually the worst month of the year. You can ask any retailer that. Kids go back to school, kids go back to college. People have a lot more expenses going into the fall. Comics definitely fall by the wayside, and they do it in September. This has been the complete opposite. Not like anything I've ever seen before. Hey, so everything's great in Paradise. It's a howling success. That's where Paradise sort of peels back, and there might be a seedy, dark, evil underside. Lasting effects. Continuity. My oldest friend. Yeah, I'm an old schooler, and I like my continuity. I also really like that DC had a legacy. 70 years of continuous continuity. Gone. Replaced with dry humping. So really, what has DC done? Well, they threw it out. They threw it out like baby in the bathwater. It's gone. Legacy's gone. And now we're left not really understanding what the heck the continuity is. What is DC? DC is like a fat man at an all-you-can-eat buffet. wandering around. Oh man, I need some Year One. I need some Long Halloween. Oh man, I love the one that killed Robin. Oh, definitely need some of that. Uh-oh. Oh, man, I gotta totally get more Robins. All 5 of them. Well, not that one. No one wants any leafies. Leave the lettuce off. Character development. Psh, don't need any of that. No, that's what we're dealing with. Nobody knows, though. That's the problem. It's sort of like an invisible buffet, is what I should say, because you're sitting down and you are the man that's going to eat. Nobody knows what continuity does exist and what doesn't. In the new Justice League #1, it says 5 years ago, and we're led to believe that that is the first meeting of what would be the Justice League. If 5 years ago Batman is just debuting, it leads us to a few problems. So in 5 years, Batman went through 5 Robins? Because we were told that Batman's continuity didn't change. So there are 5 Robins in 5 years. I don't think Batman needs to be concerned about the Joker. He needs to be concerned about the DHS, because they're going to come get him. We've been told that Superman and the death of Superman exists in continuity. But with the new Superman #1, Lois and Superman are not married. Ma and Pa Kent are both dead. But if Superman did die, and Lois and Clark were not romantically involved, who the heck's holding Superman? I mean, I read that story, and Superman is dead in the arms of Lois Lane. But if they don't have any romantic connection, well, actually, we could just gloss that over. We can move on to the next one. If Superman died, and the reign of Superman happened, and there were 4 Supermen that took over, one of them was Superboy. But we have a new #1, and the continuity is new. And Superboy is back in the clone vat. But if he's back in the clone vat, and that takes place now, then how was he out of the vat in Reign of Superman? But if Reign of Superman took place, that means Coast City was blown up. And Hal Jordan went crazy and attacked the Green Lanterns, which is fine. But that means that at some time he had to be with Ollie Queen, Green Arrow, which has to be more than probably 5 years, because Ollie looks to be about 24 in the new Green Arrow book. But if he's 24 and he had a ward when he and Green Lantern were running around, wait a second, so he had a ward when he was like 16? So Speedy is the same age as Green Arrow. How did a guy have a ward that was the same age? Hell, we don't even want to talk about Connor Hawke, his son, who obviously doesn't exist. He can't. It's not possible. So it gets worse. Once you start, it's sort of like a snowball down a hill. It turns into an enormous avalanche. If some of the books are fine, like I said, Animal Man could easily have been the next issue from the old Vertigo line. Swamp Thing picks up from the Brightest Day storytelling, which is fine if you told us what the continuity is. And that's the problem with a reboot or a restart. You're telling us that Batman Inc., no changes. Well, but if Batman Inc., there's no changes in the Batman continuity, and Stephanie Brown, one of those 5 Robins, who was Batgirl, and Oracle, who is now Batgirl. Batgirl wasn't Oracle, or Oracle wasn't Bat. You can't have your pudding and your dinner at the same time. There's a reason why continuity exists, is to keep everything nice and smooth and kosher. You can't have any pudding if you don't eat your meat. In DC, you can't have continuing Batman Inc. storytelling if you restart everything at #1. There's our biggest problem, is the continuity. It's going to be the killer to the core of the audience. The core of the audience is old school comic collectors. And I, as one retailer, have already started seeing longtime collectors say, I'm done. I don't want to read this anymore if they're just going to restart everything. That and all new number 4s don't exactly have the same impact as all new number 1s. I, for one, if I'm a new comic collector, ooh, it's all new number 1s. These are all new stories. It's all interesting. It's issue 4. God, those first 3 really weren't that good. Mr. Retailer, I don't think I really want those anymore. I expect January to be maybe a lot leaner. Maybe September. Now that I said about how it wasn't all that great, maybe September is just going to be rolled into January, which is the second worst month of the year. Another thing that will be a problem is when all of these books that aren't any good, and of those 52, there's a lot of them that are really, really bad. When those get turned into mini-series, I love the magic. Number 1 issue, number 2 issue, number 3 of 6. That's going to start happening, and we've already heard that one of them has already been canceled, and they've only made it 1 issue. There's a lot of changes in creators. They're getting into issue 4s, solicits for those, and we're already seeing major changes in creators already. But hey, there is a bright spot, and that's Marvel. And whenever DC does anything big, whenever anybody in the industry, be it writing, art, or large launches, Marvel always is the one that comes out and benefits from it because they are and have always been the house of ideas. These guys see everything, and though they have a monkey see, monkey do attitude, I'll tell you what, those guys profit from other people's adversity. It's amazing. And they will use this, and they will have the strongest 2012 of their history. Mark my words. They will use this to make themselves stronger. And another thing. Me and Sinatra, we could have run that entire town. This is a comic Illuminati. My name's Sammy Davis Jr., and you can consider yourself enlightened.